Hello everybody. So previously we have seen two different chapters. One was how to write function, and another one was what is recursive function. So these two areas we have seen earlier. We have finished those chapters. Now today we will start a new chapter, and that chapter is using Python libraries. Now first of all, you have to understand what is library in Python. So a Python library is a collection of modules that together cater to a specific type of applications or requirement. Sorry. A library can have multiple modules in it. Now, all the time one word is coming, that is module. So first of all, you have to understand it means what is module. So let us discuss what is module here. So module, the act of partitioning a program into individual components, is known as module. Now you must be thinking that partitioning a program into individual component is known as functions. Now why we are calling this one as module, or why we are calling this one as modularity? So I'll come to the explanation of this one. But let us clarify this one. What is see that what is written over here. In general, a module is a collection of statements, functions, variables, etc. We can reuse the module in another program, and a module may depend on some other module as well. So these are some of the general points related with module, and the act of partitioning a program into individual components is known as module, and this is also you can say that this is modularity. Now what are the advantages of modules? The advantages of modules, you can see here that the first one is it reduces its complexity to some degree. It reduces its complexity means it reduces the complexity of a program up to a certain degree. It creates a number of well-defined and documented boundaries within a program, and the content of the module can be used again and again in another program. It means modules are reusable. Now, what is the meaning of this particular statement, that it reduces complexity? Now, for the time being, you assume that you have written a program, and the entire statements, whatever you have written, you have directly typed the statement without defining any function. Now, say the program you have written is of 10,000 or 20,000 lines in it. Now at the end of the day, or after say 6 months or 7 months, when you will be opening the program, if it is not well documented, or then it will be difficult for you to understand the program, the complexity of the program. And this is the reason why it is always suggested that wherever related or the logically related statements are there, put it together and define functions. So this is the reason why we used to define function. Function actually reduces complexity of a program to some degree. And it also creates number of well-defined and documented boundaries within a program. So about function also you can say that it creates number of well-defined and documented boundaries within a program. So the content of the module can be used again and again. But if you just restrict yourself up to functions, then functions can be written in a particular program, and it will be difficult for you to use those functions in some other program. And this is the reason why a module is created. Now, in general, what is module? Module, you can say that module is actually a Python program, a Python file with .py extension, and the content of the modules are the following are the contents of the module. So a Python module may have uh, a file with a Python module is a Python file with .py extension in it. As I said that it is always having a .py extension in it. A Python module may have doc strings, variables and constants, classes, objects, statements and functions. So far you have seen that we have written function in our program. We know how to write functions in our program. We have seen the use of some of the objects also, like we have used list as object, the dictionary objects we have used. You have seen also that what is variable. What we don't know much about, we don't know much about classes because you have not learned what is classes. So I'll come to the explanation of classes. You have learned about doc strings as well. But again, for the sake of revision, I'll be explaining each one of this again. So a Python module, if you think about a program, so the program may have functions in it and some functions in it and the main program in it. But a Python module may have doc strings, variables, classes, objects, statements and functions. So any program, whatever you write with .py extension can be converted to module. This is the thing. Now I'm coming to the explanation of the meaning of each and everything here. The first one is doc strings. Doc strings are triple quoted comments used for documentation. You are writing a program. Now for what reason you have written that this particular statement, if you want to explain, or that particular statement you want to explain, then you can use triple quoted comments for documentation. That is, the program is doing this, this and this. Variables, you know what is variable? Variable means named memory location for storing data. What is class? A class is a template to create objects. Now, whatever objects we have used so far, that is list and then dictionary, all are actually classes. They are objects of class. So what is objects? Instance of a class is known as objects. So instance of a class means you have created a class, now you want to use a class, then you have to create an object first. Like you use list, before list what we do, we write x is equal to say the square brackets. So you are defining x as the object, a list type object. Similarly, if you want to use dictionary as an object, then what we used to write? We used to write D is equal to curly braces. Then this actually creates the instance of that class or the object of that class. You are well aware of statements. What is statements? Statements are nothing but the instructions that is given inside a function or in a program. That is known as instructions. What is function on the other hand? Functions means named group of logical instructions. So all these things, whatever I have written, are the part of module. So the modules may have all these things in it. Now, some of the modules are there. I am just naming a few, like math module, C math module, random module, time module, and many more. N number of modules are there. Python is actually full of libraries and it is having n number of modules in it. Whatever you want, you can do with Python. So Python is a very, very powerful language. Now, how to use that module? There are certain ways and using those techniques you can use module in your program. The first way. Now using import statement. Import is used for importing the entire module. The second one is import selected object using from, then the module name, then import, and then the object name. Now see the syntax here. The syntax is from, then module name, whatever module you want to import, then the keyword import, and then the object name, whatever object you want to import from that module. Now the third one, you can see that using alias name, the import statement can be used, like import then module as alias name, whatever you want to use. Say you are writing import math as M, then you don't have to use the word math again and again. Rather, you can use M in place of math. So let us code it and see that how to use this one. So we will be using, I will show you that how to use this import statements and how to write it, and let us see this one first. So I am going to the coding of this one. So this is the coding part where you can see that one file is already there. I am increasing the size of the output screen a bit, and now we will use the statements, different statements, whatever they are. So I will be using import. Now what do you want to import? Certain libraries or some modules, rather modules I would say, some modules are already there in Python, like math. So I have written here import math. So what is the content of this math library? This particular, this module. So this particular module is having all the related mathematical functions in it, and you can use those functions in your program. Like I want to use some of the functions that is present in this particular module. Then I will be typing here math and then dot. Now see, in this particular environment, that is in this particular IED, what happens that after typing the name of the module, if you give a dot, then all the related functions, whatever is there, is visible. Now see the functions that is present here, all the functions, like a very well known function, you know about it, this is pow function, that is. So what you have to do, again I am repeating, math and then put a dot, whatever function that is related with mathematics, like a cos, a sin, a tan, cell, copy sign, these are all other functions that is present here. Now you can see here that something is coming in red color, this one. So this may be a variable in it, or a constant in it, or some objects in it. So you have to understand the difference. So these are the functions that is present here. So cos, sine and all other functions, and these are actually the variables, objects present in it. So in this way you can define some functions. You can use some modules. So I am using the pow function. Now when you are using pow function, so one you can see that x to the power of y. It means you have to pass two arguments in it, x to the power of y. So I am using say 5 and 5 to the power 2, and in this way if we use it, then let us see that what result it generates. So I am writing here x is equal to math.pow, and then one print statement as usual. So I will be writing here print x. So you know that 5 to the power 2, what is the result? So let us see whether the result is generated or not. So you can see that the result is generated. So this is how you can use this particular uh, any module in your program. Any module can be used. Now, previously you have also seen that we can use one alias name for importing certain things. So, while you are using the functions that is present in math, so all the time what you have to do, you have to type math there. So, I am showing you the second technique. Use the alias name here. So, I am writing here as whatever name is coming in your mind or whatever is comfortable that you can type. So I am using here M. So import math as M. It means I have given one nickname to this math module, and that is M. And this nickname will is valid up to this particular program. As soon as the program is closed, that will be removed. Now you can use here M dot. Now you can see the same result is coming. There is no difference. So you can write like this as well. So M dot, again some other function you want to use, like ABS, floor, mod, or any other. GCD is also present here. So any function you want to use, say log 10 or anything. So you can use those functions. Some other function 10, sine, and square root of a number is also there. So I am using this one, M dot square root of say 56, and put it in a variable. So variable is X, and then directly go for the print statement and print X here. Save the program and run it. So this is actually the square root of the number. Now few other things are there that you can do with this import statement. Say you want to know about some of the function, that how it works or what is the use of a particular function. Let us say, for example, the square root of the function. You are a new user and you don't know how square root works. So in this case, what you will do, first of all, you import math in whatever way you want, and then you can type a statement here, help, and then within help you can again write M dot, and then whatever you want to take help of whatever function, that function you can choose from here. So let us take help of the square root function. So you can type S, then it will come. So square root. I'm saving it, and now let us find out that what output this particular thing generates. So I'm running the program here, and you see this is the output. Help on built-in function sqrt in module math. Sqrt x, so this takes one argument x and returns the square root of x. So this is the help that is provided here. The help, whatever I was saying earlier, that what is docstring. Docstring is nothing but the documentation part in a module. So whenever you write the documentation, so documentation also helps the program, that for what reason that particular programmer has written it, and docstring also helps us to you can say helps the user as well. So this is the advantage of docstring, or whatever you write within triple quotation. So in this way you can use help, you can take help of any function. So these are the different use here. Now we will be seeing, I'll be discussing about one more way in which you can use this import statement. Okay, so previously you have seen two different ways through which you can use module. Now I am going to show you another way. So you can use here from math import say sqrt, the square root function I want to use. Now if you want to use two more things, that is square root and pow, so you can write here pow as well. It means from math module I want to use two different things only, that is sqrt and pow, and rest of the functions whatever is there in the math module is not required for the time being. There is one advantage in doing this one. This actually decreases the size of your program or the load of your program, size of the program in terms of bytes, because when you import a module, then whatever functions, objects, classes, documentation, whatever is written inside it is also included in your program, and in turn it increases the size of your program. But if you use your import statement very sensibly like this, that is, you know your requirement, and on the basis of this if you write, then this will decrease the load of your program, the size of your program. Your program will not become heavy. So this is how you can reduce the size. This is one way to reduce the size of program. So let us do it first. Now previous statements, you have seen that the time when we are using the square root function, all that time we are using math.sqrt. But when you are using from math import sqrt comma pow, then you don't have to use this math all the time. You don't have to write math dot like this. Rather you can use the functions directly. So you can write it in this way, that is say print and inside print statement I'm directly calling sqrt function, so square root of say 45, and now saving the program and let us execute it. So this is actually the output generated. So these are predefined functions that is present in math module. There is one more way. So you can use sqrt, you can use pow, so whatever you want you can use there. There is one more way. You want to import everything. Now for importing everything, you just do one thing, you remove that two part and write from math import star. Star means everything, as you have learned in SQL, that is select star from something. Okay, so the star means everything, whatever is there in the module you import. Now you must be thinking that if I want to import everything, then for what reason I'll be using this star, rather I'll be using import math. Well, you can write import math always, but the thing is that when you are writing from math import star, then you don't have to use math dot function name, math dot function name. In this way you don't have to proceed always. Now let us see whether this particular function works or not. So I'm running the program here, and you can see that the output is generated on the screen, that is without using math dot anything, it is working. Now let us try once that if I use math dot, then what happens. So math dot. Now see, you can see that previously you have seen that one pop-up menu was coming, but in this case no pop-up menu for selecting the function names are there. It means you don't have to write this math dot or anything. You can directly use the functions. So I hope that you have understood everything whatever was there, and if you are having any doubt or any problems, so you can write directly to me. In my next class I will show you that how to create a module. So that's all for the day. Thank you.